Hi everyone, welcome back to the Gods Enchantments channel. I'm Claire and today we're going to be doing the second half to my previous video all about my morning spiritual routine, and in this video we are going to talk about my evening spiritual routine. So here we are, a couple of updates. If you have not already, please do come over and join my online community, which is a closed Facebook group. The link will be in the drop down box below underneath this video. That is where I am live every single week, sometimes more than once a week. The subscription box release video is tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. in that group. The full moon video where I come and talk to you all about the moon phase that we're in. So we're going into a full moon, the sign it's in, how to work with that energy. That's going to be later in this week as well. So if you want to be part of our more interactive community, then you can come over and join us there. You can also subscribe and click the bell if you would like to be notified when I do new videos. They're a bit sporadic this year because we have had a lot going on. I've been teaching all year. I teach live and interactive courses. So I do YouTube when I can. Next year, I'm hoping that's all going to change and there's going to be a lot more focus on my YouTube channel. But until then, if you want to see more of me, the Facebook group is the way to go. So let's get on with this video. My evening spiritual routine. Now, it's one of those things, like I said in the previous video, and I talk a lot more about that in the morning routine one, we don't all have a ton of time. We don't all have a ton of tools. But there's still time in our routine that we're often surprised we can find to really keep that connection going, keep that energy going, to make sure we're taking care of ourselves energetically. And the evening is a really big part of that, because let's think about what's happened. You've been through an entire day interacting with who knows how many people. You may have been at work all day. You may have a customer service type job. You may have dealt with challenging family members. So by the time it gets to that evening, your energy field is a bit all over the place. Then there's the kids and your partner and the pets and everyone else's energy to really take into account as well. So having a routine at the end of the day, no matter how small, can really help you to keep your energy in check, to keep your connection going to your spiritual path, and really just bring things back into balance. So here, there's going to be a few adjustments, but take what you want from my routine and the variations that I give you. If something doesn't work for you, add something else in. You can also get really creative yourself and think, oh, she said about this, but maybe I'll try that because that sounds good to me. Totally do it. So one of the first things, if I've had a very challenging day, is I like to have a salt bath. Now, this is not something that can be done all the time because it does require a little bit of time to be set aside. So this is the longest thing that's going to be in the evening routine. It is optional. It certainly isn't necessarily a daily thing. But if you've had a day that has been a real mare and it's been really challenging, I highly recommend a salt bath. Now, I like to use Epsom salts or Himalayan salts or a mix of the two. And I sometimes do like to add essential oils such as some lavender and some frankincense essential oils. They are my favorite. I also, little skincare tip, add a little bit of either rosehip oil or jojoba oil into the salts as well. And it will really give you a moisturization and nourishing skincare moment when you get out of that bath. But be careful, it can make the bath slippy. No slipping over. So Other than that, I like to make sure that I smudge with my chosen method of smudge every evening. So this may be a smoke smudge. My personal preference is a smoke smudge, but you can use a smokeless smudge, so like an aura spray smudge, whatever smudging is for you, to really get all that gunk off at the end of the day. So I like to do that when I change out of my day clothes. Now, if all those clothes are going in the wash, then just take them off and do your smudging then. If you are going to be reusing any item of that clothing, maybe a pair of jeans or something, then you can smudge while you're in those clothes, just to make sure any juju is off the clothing itself. But give yourself a really good smudge, remembering your hands, remembering under your feet, remembering to get behind you. I also like to take the time to smudge my phone during this time as well, because let's face it, we've all been looking at our mobiles for a lot of the day. A lot of data comes through there, a lot of energy comes through there, so you want to make sure you clear that off. I certainly do anyway. Having a lot of social media due to God's enchantments, it's good to keep everything clear and flowing freely. So the next thing that I like to do is give thanks and gratitude for the blessings that that day has brought. Now, it doesn't matter if you have had a really challenging day. This is a really good exercise for you to actually start and get into, because it helps you to find the blessings in even the most challenging of circumstances and to give thanks for them, even if it is simply giving thanks for the opportunity that you've had to grow and learn from a bad experience that day, or maybe something really wonderful's happened and you're giving thanks there. Gratitude is a really important part of our spiritual path of working with universal energy. You cannot manifest anything unless you are completing the cycle of abundance, which always has gratitude in there. Really, really important. Some people say to me, Claire, why is my rituals not working? I'm doing the same ritual over and over again. I'm still not having it work. And I'm like, well, are you giving thanks for the blessings that you do have, or are you so focused on what it is that you want? Because giving thanks is a huge thing. And I not only give thanks for the blessings that that day has brought, I also give thanks for the blessings of the following day or the following week, or just in general other blessings that will come to me in future that I'm not yet aware of. So this can be as formal or informal as you like, depending again on your personal timeline. If you have a few moments to go and light a dedicated gratitude candle and do your gratitude practice at your altar or somewhere in your home, that's great. If you don't have that much time, then you can do it before you go to bed. You could do it as you're getting changed. You could do it as you're taking your makeup off, or you're having a wash, or whatever it may be. There is always time. It doesn't have to be a formal sit down somewhere and do it thing. You are simply talking to the universe, so it really doesn't care if you are getting changed or if you are sitting at your altar. Yes, it is lovely to have your gratitude candle and be able to take a few moments to really think through the day and think through what you're being grateful for and those blessings, but it's not a necessity. If it's not do it at all, or do it while you're getting changed, do it while you're getting changed. The other thing that's really important that I like to do in the evening is make sure that I am checking my energy field, because throughout the day, many people's energetic strings attach to you. You may have become upset by something you've seen. Someone may have become jealous of you at work and sent a bit of bad juju your way. All of these things attach to us. Now, smudging does help clear them off, but sometimes you get some clingers, especially if it is to do with family, or there is someone that's particularly just doesn't like you that you have to work with. Those things really do have an effect on your energy field. So what I like to do before I go to bed, or you can do it when you get home from work, again, fit it in with your practice. I like to just take a moment just to bring myself into center and kind of scan through, see, have I got any little connections happening? How are things energetically? And then I just send back any energy that does not belong to me back to where it came from. So I will just sit down and be like, okay, I'm just going to send back any energies that are not anything to do with me, that are not for my highest good, any energies that have been sent towards me throughout this day. I send them back with love and light. Now, important sidebar moment here. If you have had a very challenging day and you cannot separate yourself like I'm about to talk about, just don't do this practice, okay? This is a practice for when you truly can separate yourself from the day that you have had, especially if you know a particular person or persons has been sending you negative energies. You simply want to send them back the energy they have sent you. We're not sending it with an added sting. We're not sending it with an added bout of anger. We're not sending anything extra with it because we are in a balanced place. We maybe have taken a salt bath. We have cleansed ourselves with our smudge. We are now in a neutral space. We have done our gratitude to bring us back into balance with universal energy. So now all we are doing is saying, okay, any energy that's been sent to me, I have no thoughts on that energy. I'm not going to sit here thinking, oh, I think that was Betty, or I think Susan did this to me. No, we're not going to think any of that. We're just going to send all the energies that are not for our highest good, that have been sent towards us, back to their original owner with love and light, exactly as they are. That way you have no energetic ties to them, and what they get back has no energetic bond to you. There's no score to settle. There's no suddenly the battle of the energies where you've sent something extra and now you're getting something extra. We want to stay completely clear, completely cleaned of that. So all we're doing is sending them back their own energy. When they get it, if they don't like it, or if it doesn't bode well for them, that's none of our business. We're not even going to think about that, because all they're getting back is what they sent out and what belongs to them and their energy field. If that happens to be negative energy that they have sent to you or someone else, and then that comes back to them, that's their energy then to work through. But you want to send them their energy exactly as it left them and got sent to you. So this is not a time to think of specific people, specific situations. It's a time of neutrality, where you are simply making sure that before you go to bed, that all of your energy is just your own. There's no little clinger-ongers there. So you have sent that back. Now, the last thing that I like to make sure that I do in the evening is to work with some kind of crystal. It's a personal preference for me because crystals are a really big part of my practice. So what I will do, and you don't have to set, again, people say to me, oh, I don't have time to go meditate with a crystal for half an hour. You don't have to. You can simply take your favorite crystal or the crystal that's aligned with the energy you want to work with. So if you've been super stressed and you've got a smaller lepidolite sphere or lepidolite tumble stones, take them with you. And if you're going to watch a bit of TV before bed, sit holding onto them while you're watching TV. If you're going to go to bed and you're going to read a book, have them in your hand or sitting on your lap. As long as they're in contact with your skin, they are interacting and working with you. So you can work with a crystal at any time, doing anything in your home, whether you're relaxing, anything you're doing relaxing, just have your crystals with you and you are interacting and working with their energy. Now, an optional extra is to ground. I often feel I don't need to ground in the evening if I have gone through all the cleansing and everything that we've just spoke about. But if you do feel ungrounded, again, you can add some grounding in, and that can be something that you can do while you're cooking dinner, while you're sitting eating your dinner. This is something people don't think about. If you're sitting at the table eating your dinner, your feet are on the floor. There's no reason you cannot put your roots down and ground while you're eating your dinner. Now, if you're sitting there and you're watching this and you're thinking, hang on, I've got lost a bit of somewhere along the way, make sure that you have watched the morning routine video first, because I go over all the basics of what these routines mean and why we're going through the basic routines in that video. But I didn't want to repeat myself for the second one when most of you have already heard all of that information. Now, other than that, anything else you do is completely optional. If one night you have time to go and do a half-an-hour meditation, take that time to do it. The thing with these two videos that I've done is they are what I like to see as the basis and the minimum for getting some spiritual practice into a massively hectic lifestyle or day, so that every single day you can come back to self and have some of that spiritual practice there. You can extend this in all sorts of ways, by spending time at your altar, by doing ritual, by doing mantra, by doing meditation, by working with herbs as you cook your dinner and stirring in blessings as you do so. There's so many ways you can extend what your daily spiritual routine is. And I use the word routine because it's easy for a lot of people to understand. But for me, it's not really a routine. It's just something I do and a way of living and part of my path that I do these things. But if you are new to your path, or if you are struggling with your spiritual practice simply down to time, and time management is something that you find difficult, having something that is a routine that's understandable, that's easy to put into practice, can be really, really helpful for you. And then once you get going, you'll be surprised how you start adding things in here, adding things in there. You do find a bit of time here. So I really hope that this video has helped you and you have enjoyed it. I will be back soon with a new tarot deck review. But like I say, if you want to see me before then, come over and join our Facebook community. That is it from me. Blessed be.